What's up, guys? Welcome. How are you guys? Welcome to another stream. Another big day. Let's take a look at what's going on, right? Basically, the dollar hasn't moved that much. We finally have a little bit of a recovery on the indices. And we had really good moves on the yen pairs. Something that we're looking for. Aussie and CAD pairs, right? Basically, the pairs that we have been looking for, that we anticipated in terms of the predictions and what you wanted to look for today, those were the ones that actually moved, opposite to the dollar pairs. In this case, looking at euro dollar, pound dollar, and so on, which almost didn't move. All right, and this is actually one of the advantages. Actually looking for more pairs or different assets instead of just those traditional ones attached to the dollar, because sometimes if the dollar is just ranging, the other ones may not, like the opportunities on euro dollar and so on, may not be the best ones, opposite to what we just saw on the yen pairs, on the euro Aussie, for example, pound Aussie, and so on. What's up, Bongani? How are you, man? Did you have a good day? So here we are. Dollar. We mentioned that we had this engulf down and slightly engulf up, right? And there was a chance that price could go slightly lower. I was looking for price to get a little bit more closer to that level, or eventually here. It hasn't really moved that much to the downside. And in my opinion, it hasn't even reacted from the supply in there. This high, I believe, it's maybe a bit short, which means that we can still have a new high in here and still react from that level. And eventually you can even go in there. Basically, we have price getting really close to either one of these levels in here and that one, but not touching any. Which in this case, there's still space for one or the other level in there on the very next. In terms of news for tomorrow, just to be aware of what kind of opportunities we can expect. So it's going to be core PC, which is going to be an important one. And maybe we have finally this dollar index moving away from this range that has been throughout this week. So that's something to be aware of. So let's see if price does want to go slightly to touch that level or a little bit more to the downside. Again, we have this slightly goof up and we had that one lower. Price already broke that low, but maybe there's a little bit more of a zone in there. You are talking about the breakout setup, like this. Yeah, if you're looking for a breakout setup in here, yes, you can definitely have a breakout setup in here. Yep, you can have that, definitely. Price already at least fake out slightly these levels in here, so we can, and it has at least out that space in there to fill. So that could be definitely an opportunity to look for a trade after the breakout at level. We can look for that breakout to happen. Yeah, you can. This particular case, I think that's a valuable opportunity to look for. Oh, there we go. So exactly the levels. First time basically I'm looking at S&P today. So S&P, as I mentioned yesterday, there was maybe a trade in there from this demand zone, right? I mentioned exactly this one yesterday, if you recall, right? The opportunity to buy from here and to just sell it in there, like in terms of the breakout setup in this particular level. And it happened exactly as that. And if anyone was looking for a bigger target in here, they got stopped out. Because in this particular case, this is one of the most high probability setups that you can find, is just to buy when you have a small range, basically a level. Basically a level of level of demand and maybe a level of queen support resistance plus supply in there. Basically just trading from here to here and that's it. And sometimes that level is quite small, so we need to try to find good risk reward on that setup, but that's a high probability move that happens, and it happened. As a consequence, we are looking also for price eventually to get to the next level, and that's basically where it already reacted from, since everything in here then has been taken and we went all the way there. And the other level that we're looking for, it was actually to see price breaking below that low. Second, was to go somewhere in here, and that's basically where price went there, right? Close to that level. Actually, we have still this demand zone in there, but there you go. Now we are cutting a little bit of this range in here. Again, I'm not really going to be interested in trading anything on S&P at this point. It's going to let price move until eventually gets either a little bit more to the upside or eventually more to the downside. Same thing with with Nasdaq. We talked about that level as well. Basically, somewhere in here, it looked like a good level to anticipate price to move towards to. In here, it was a good previous level support resistance somewhere in there, and that was a nice, interesting zone. And there you go. We finally have a positive day on Nasdaq. Actually, it's negative again since price is already moving down, but it's basically a flat day with a lot of range up and down. Yeah, so we'll see. Again, it can continue to move down. Price usually never really turns just with a spike in here. It needs a little bit more PI, at least to retest this double low, and potentially we can even start using a little bit of these lows in here, create some compression eventually until price turns in there. There's more room to the downside if price does want to go lower as well. So again, I'm not really interested in trading at this point Nasdaq neither. Dow Jones, don't really think. Yep, Dow Jones just retested this level as well. So respect to that one, into that, respecting this upper extreme in there. It was fresh, that supply level in there. Perfect. And now moving a little bit lower. Yeah, nothing to look at. This guy now actually touched the man. Yeah, I'm not really interested in any of the indices, so I'm just going to move along. Ethereum, this is Ethereum Bitcoin. Ethereum, big move to downside. So yeah, some of the guys actually managed to catch this short. So great job from them. Nice move. Again, we started to look at that compression, that turnaround, break of low, and then eventually the move to downside. They're looking for it to go slightly lower. Let's see how price may react from here, but eventually can go get maybe closer to this level. We'll see in the middle. Second. We'll see how price may react from this level. Otherwise we may start moving slightly more to downside. Bitcoin is not so bearish comparing with Ethereum. It's just filled this space now. Yep, reacting from this demand zone. It makes total sense. In here, they broke that level, so that's where we are. In here, yeah, not really interested in trading this level. Savannah just broke this low, so it can actually carry on moving to downside. Now it actually broke the low before that. This was already break of a low in there. Yeah, moving to downside. Yeah, I'm not really interested in trading anything in here neither. So let's take a look at actually the FX pairs. Euro index made out the move down, actually ended up breaking below that, no surprise, and it stopped somewhere in the middle of this gap. So it didn't really fill the gap, which means that there's maybe still space in here to look for on the Euro index eventually as a continuation. Fair enough. So that's something to be aware of. Price basically already retesting a little bit of this structure. Yeah, it's maybe time now for a potential retest. We'll see how price may react from one of these levels. This level actually it was nice, it was fresh. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see price continues to hold now this level in here, but to the upside, and it starts challenging to go slightly higher in here. So that's something to look for on Euro index. Yep, we'll see. And then the end pairs, right? So this was actually the best opportunity of the day in alignment with some of the Aussie pairs. So we call this one, I actually shared on Twitter just before it happened, that the yen index was about to turn. So we started to talk about that even yesterday. Initial price was still somewhere in here. It made that extra leg up overnight, and then it reacted perfectly. It started to show PA of reversal. I really like this. Is one of the best PAs that you can see in here. and then it created that level in there, broke the wall, reacted a little bit from this level, but then just reacted from here, and there you go. The push downside. Finally, we have a little bit of correction after being bullish for so long, and we'll see. We did manage to break below that low as well, so there's maybe a potential continuation eventually on these yen pairs. But now we're going to look at how price may react from here. Yen index that can eventually even take this high, get a little bit higher. But there you go. Basically, the last high that made all this push down, now it managed to hold price a little bit in here. So we'll see. But we did manage to break below this wall. So there's maybe potential continuation a little bit more to the downside in here on the yen index. So that was perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. Dissipating. And there you go. Like you need to be patient in this particular case. We don't really know when, or we cannot rush into those reversal setups. We actually need to let price show us the clues, show us the weakness before jumping into it. And if it takes one or 2 days extra, perfect. More momentum, more overpriced, which then eventually leads into a bigger sell-off in here. So looking at the individual currency pairs, we go and we take a look at euro dollar. There you go. Like euro dollar just continue within the same range, so we managed to respect a double bottom in here, and then in there basically there was maybe opportunities to trade in there, but as you can see, not exactly with the biggest momentum. And we'll see. We didn't manage to break new highs in here, but basically just get closer to this range. So we'll see. We'll see. Price is ready to go slightly higher. Again, personally, this is not the strongest low. So eventually, I would like to see euro dollar to take it. Already have now 3 lows in there in alignment. So eventually can be faked out, and actually euro dollar could resume to move to the downside. We'll see. We do have demand zone in there. Pound, just same situation. I tried to go higher, it didn't really manage to. It respect a little bit its previous support resistance, and now I think this is just a continuation to the downside to be expected in here on the pound dollar. So yeah, just let it go. Again, eventually I'll still like to see potential of this pound dollar coming or getting into this level once again. But let's see when you're going to have that deep retracement, and if that's going to happen or not. At this point, just let it go. Levels in here to pay attention to. Yeah, maybe something in there. Nothing really stands out to me, to be honest. Price already took that one. Price already reacted from it. Maybe there's a small decision point somewhere in there. This looks like a bit in the middle. Yeah, it could even go lower. There's this left shoulder, this above bottom that was faked out, and then price maybe already reacted from it. Yeah, it looks like price already had a lot of touches in there, so that basically makes it much weaker. We have this level in here, so maybe something in there. And we have this previous support resistance. So we'll see in here, but by any chance it wants to touch in there. We'll see if it touches or not. Again, one thing is for sure, like it's creating momentum it's moving to the downside, it's creating new lows, but it starts to show some weakness. Something that is still missing in here is a little bit of momentum before price turns. Another situation is that we haven't really had the retest towards this level. Like price basically just created momentum and it turned completely, and usually price doesn't really turn like that. So eventually price may want to go there again. So that's something to bear in mind in terms of potential reversals in here. Aside from that, yeah, it looks like it's just slow. Usually then can create a momentum before eventually turns. But if you do want to go there, I wouldn't really like to see the momentum too much lower. I like to see reacting from something in there and pushing higher before going all the way down. You have this previous support resistance, and you have that one as well. These have shoulders in there. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen on the pound. We'll see. Not going to really fight it. For me, at this point, it's not exactly into a plus type of setup. Unless something happens in the morning tomorrow, and there's PI to look for it. What we had in here, right? There you go. So we predicted this one this week. Exactly what happened, right? We mentioned that we had the engulf to the upside in here. We mentioned that price was starting to break these lows, therefore we had this supply in there, so price actually could go down first, and then we mentioned that we had this demand zone in here. And there you go, price just literally fake out this low, it touched in there, and now respected the break in here. And this is something that you can definitely be aware of beforehand. Again, the PA around it was good. We have all these left shoulders as well, and there you go. Beautiful move, compression, a lot of compression until eventually gain momentum. And now is breaking to the upside, and it can go. It can go now, can maybe even target that level. Of course, before that we have this level in here that price can touch. It can even, because £0 sometimes they do like to trade in ranges, you can even come back all the way to this demand zone and go again. Yep, because this level is actually still fresh. This lows never reacted from it, so you can even come all the way back. Pick out these lows and push. But at this point, I'm not going to really expect that. Price already did the retracement that he had to do, and he could now resume. Maybe there's a little bit more of a continuation setup in this case now, in here. But really nice move, predicted. Again, any fake out, any engulf or break of a high, it matters. It matters. You need to be able to understand what those clues are. It's really nice. Really nice move in there. £1 just going. Yep, that could have been basically chart of the week as well. Looking at the Aussie dollar, right? We finally have a retracement. Again, personally, it's not exactly my best level. I think on the daily time frame is maybe something more relevant. Yeah, not exactly, to be honest. But we finally have, yeah, on the weekly, okay. But we finally have a retracement in here, but eventually I'm expecting this Aussie dollar to continue, basically just retesting this almost this level in there. Yeah, new lows to be expected, to be honest, until price actually eventually gets closer to here. But it's about time that you start having a little bit of compression. Compression means that price may start going up, down, eventually can go higher in here, can fake out that level, can then continue, and eventually getting closer to something in here, right? So it's about time to start having this type of move in here. It's been bearish, been super strong to the downside in there. And then you start looking at the Aussie pairs, right? So finally we had a turn in here on the Aussie dollar, and as a consequence we had this beautiful move on the Euro Aussie. So that's actually a nice super level that's in there created, and we were looking for it. Actually, the best move was more on the pound Aussie. That was one that we actually looked for. So we had that momentum initially, and then we start having turn. This one for me, it was not exactly the ideal to turn, but the pound Aussie was actually perfect. Great setup in there. Yeah, this one eventually can continue. Again, just the same way that Aussie dollar may continue to go lower. This one can even continue, can even eventually target this double top. I wouldn't be surprised if it does it. But again, it's about time to start having a little bit more of a compression type of move in here. So now it's respecting this demand zone, and you'll see what's going to happen afterwards. You do have this level in here as well. And then the pound Aussie, yeah, that was really good. So it fake out that high that we mentioned, right? So as soon as it fake out that high, it's perfect. So it filled all this range. So we mentioned that after breaking that level, we tested, and we had all this range in here to fill it. Everything was compressed, and it fake out the high, and it get into this new phase. Again, can still go slightly higher, but as soon as it takes that high, that's the opportunity to start looking for a reversal, and we had that PI, right? So what we have is breaking a little bit. We finally managed to break a low, start showing indication it wants to go lower. Then you have the final fake out in here, breaks that level, and you start moving lower. So this is actually a textbook setup that we look for. Some of the guys also managed to take this trade. Perfect. And there you go. I triggered with the break of that high. We're looking for that move. It's a beautiful level. Can still go lower. Again, you can maybe even aim this level in here. But this is the demand zone as well, okay? But yeah, can go that one. Start breaking that level, then you start looking for price to fill in here. Yeah, really good move. Really good move. And you see how price eventually may react from there. If it wants to go there, or again, can even slightly go higher. Okay, can even go slightly higher in there. But that was the trade as well that we talked about yesterday. Beautiful move on the pound Aussie. Again, most of these pairs now already had that retracement. Again, I'm not content trader, so the retracements actually happen today. So now for me, I need to be patient. Now wait to see what's next. I'll try to look for something else that is still not, that hasn't yet reversed. For example, pound dollar. But pound dollar, in my opinion, is not yet at a great level in here. We can also look at New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar similar to the, where is New Zealand? New Zealand dollar similar to Aussie dollar, even though New Zealand actually is already reacting closer to this low in there. So that's something to, again, I'm still expecting a little bit more of PA. I don't really like the PA just yet of what we have in here. We move in here with the news. Price hasn't really managed to break any clear high at this point. So yeah, I want more PA. I want price actually to fake out that low that just created this today. And we'll see. We'll see if we're not going to even go lower and eventually target this one in here. So, but again, it's another one that's been really strong. Moving to the downside, so we'll see what's going to happen in there. Just to keep an eye on it as well. And then you have the Aussie and you get into the end pairs, right? So that was the opportunity as well. So we have good level in here. So previous level support resistance, basically we have a clean level of demand zone in there. And that's exactly where price reacted from in alignment at around the same time that the yen index was reacting from that level. We have the end pairs reacting from here. And there you go. Right, we start slowing down, faking out that level, and somewhere in here it was definitely possible to look for that trade. And where to? Yeah, just basically retest this level of supply. Everything in here is compressed. This level is taken by that one, so it's also taken, and we have this level of supply left behind, and that's basically where it could aim for a potential target. It's also in alignment to this previous level of demand that should have respected, but it didn't, broke down, and there you go. So that was the first of the end pairs. Beautifully. Now it's about, again, wait and see. If price comes back in here, let's see how price may react. If you break above this level, then you'll see if you're going to do something. And you need to keep an eye also on the yen index, what the yen index is going to do. If you are still continuing to look for shorts, is this the moment to look for shorts? Yeah, maybe it is. Or price may want to go a little bit higher. Like, again, personally, I like to catch the extended moves and the turns. So now I want to see what kind of PA is going to be created around this level in there. Dollar yen also turns, reacted exactly from the low. Looking yesterday a little bit from here, look up, it was somewhere in there. Not the biggest fan. I didn't really look for the pound yen, to be honest. But yeah, he respected that low. He can eventually fake out the low. We'll see what's going to happen. We did manage to take slightly this high, so that was good. But the PA again, it was quite similar. How the end pairs were in alignment, so that was perfect. Euro yen, that's the one that we took as well. So that's really good. So reaction, where from? There you go, the origin. I just waited all the way through, patience until it gets to the origin, and then you have again beautiful PA as well coming from here. Beautiful fake out in there. Then you have the left shoulder, kind of the demand zone. Price breaks it and it goes in here. Target could be somewhere in there or can even go higher, and to be honest. So we'll see. We have definitely this previous level in there. That's basically where price actually ended up reacting. There you go, just simple trade towards the previous level support resistance. In the bigger picture, beautiful move. Beautiful move in here on the euro yen. There you go, to catch it, right? Just patience, man. Just patience. Anyone looking for reversals before that, trying to catch maybe this double bottom or something like that, it would just been killed. Somewhere in there as well. Just patience. Just wait for price to actually get into a higher time frame level, to show weakness, and to show the signs that wants to turn. Then price just goes with you. Much easier to do so. It just requires patience. A lot of patience, to be honest. Pound yen, same thing. Right? Same thing. Beautiful level now where it reacted. In here, this Quasimodo level in there. Previous level support resistance as well in there. And there is maybe reaction from a previous high somewhere in here. There you go. Perfect reaction where you have also the PA start breaking highs, compression in there, and it turned. Again, target, just look for that previous level supply. Regardless, it was already a great risk reward into there. And yeah, we'll see where it's going to go towards to. It was another great level in there. So we'll see what's next. There's maybe still levels in there that price can use, or even you can fake out this level. So we'll see what this pound yen is going to do. Didn't manage to fake out about this high. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, maybe there's something in there. Right, price managed to respect that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see now within this range what's going to happen. A bit more of patience now. It's the second phase of the move. CAD yen as well just turned. Another one that was reacting from some kind of level in there. Yeah, forgot everything in here. And yeah, reacted from something in there again, just turned again, all the same. It was all the end, so all in the environment. Perfect. And now takes us into the CAD pairs, which is something that we have been looking for as well this week, quite a lot. And there you go. So dollar CAD, fake out the highs with the news. So this one was not exactly easy to trade, but the CAD yen, the pound CAD was perfect. So, and the euro CAD as well. There you go. This was a bit harder to trade. We did manage to break above the high, so that may still mean that price still wants to go slightly higher. Maybe price just respected this previous level of support resistance in here. No, not even that one. Yeah, could have been gone a bit lower. So we'll see what's going to happen. Again, we are getting really close to this level. I still like that. I still like the idea of price faking out this high as well, not just this one, but this one as well, and getting into there. So we'll see if that happens in here on the dollar CAD. So that's still something to bear in mind. Again, price is still compressing quite a lot, but continues to be bullish in here. Again, the effect of the interest rate cut in Canada can make that can be the reason, definitely, for this bullish move on the CAD. Already 2 rate cuts opposite to the Fed that hasn't really cut anything. And then you have Euro CAD, which was perfect exactly from the levels that you mentioned yesterday. So we had that high, and we were looking for price to fake out still that level in here into this supply level, which is exactly where price reacted from. That level in there, that supply, left shoulders, supply there, fresh. This high never reacted from it. And that's exactly where price reacted from. And there you go. At this initial move down, managed to break below this low, so eventually could start aiming a bit more towards this low. So we'll see still what's going to happen around this level, and eventually can even try to target this double bottom in there. So we'll see the PI that's going to happen around here, but really good move. If by any chance CAD still wants to go slightly higher and price fakes out that level, then you're looking somewhere in there. Again, it's another one that is showing a lot of compression here, a lot of try to go higher, but gets rejected straight away. But it's still missing a proper break of a low, to be honest. Actually, we have this one in here now. Actually, we have now this first one. And then pound CAD. There you go. Right, so pound CAD yesterday with the spike. We're looking for price. There was still an order in there, and then he still left another one in there, and there you go. That was the opportunity to catch that move, and you can look for price to eventually target back into this range in there. So that's exactly the opportunity to look for. There's maybe a few retesting here, but you are looking for price to target this low, actually to go back into this level and potentially to even go. So CAD, we have been looking for that one. It still hasn't really broken that high, so it's still respecting it. And you can eventually have a little bit more of a turn in here. Yep, you can do that. Maybe you can even retest a little bit that level. Yeah. Now let's see if there's any kind of retracement still in there. or if we're going to have a bit more of a momentum setup in here, depending on also on what the pound dollar is going to do. As you can see, pound CAD is actually moving a bit more to downside, opposite to the euro CAD, which actually retested, and this is because euro is slightly stronger and the pound is slightly weaker. So that's why we are having actually this type of moves in here. Same thing with the pound Aussie comparing with euro Aussie. So as you can see, the pound is actually moving more to the downside, just broke niveaus, and the euro is still kind of in this range. And that's why we also have this euro pound actually moving higher, showing that the euro is stronger and the pound is weaker at this point. Or at least pound is weaker than the euro. Yeah. So that's just, it is what it is at this point in here. So yeah, just waiting to see now what's going to happen next. If price retest this level, perfect. Continuation to look for more opportunities. Eventually to look for new sales. Same thing with the euro Aussie. Same thing with the eventual pound Aussie as well. As the Aussie continues to push lower. Aussie dollar in this case. The end pairs. Now it's time to wait. Right? Again, the opportunity of that initial retracement, it happened already. That's one type of setup. Now it's going to be a complete different type of setup. If when price retests to a double top. Now it's going to be kind of a double top setup. Sorry, in this case on the end pairs it's going to be a double bottom setup. So we'll see what's going to happen, because we can always have one fake out of the lows one more time. Right? So we'll see what's going to happen in there. Dollar franc Swiss, it started to run kind of to reverse a little bit in here. So where it reacted from to have actually this demand zone. That was something that we were looking for already. Finally price is reacting from there, but eventually can even go lower, can actually break the lows and continue to push more to downside in here. So that was a really nice continuation setup as well, with price breaking the low, then retest and go. That was something that we looked for, but that was already 2 days ago. And now, yeah, now I'm not going to really touch it. And gold just continues. Gold just continues to push lower, and everything in here is compressed. So already can go all the way to take this low and start looking for price to go slightly lower. So anticipation is for price to take this low. This is a big clue for a target. So being aware of this price action move is a great clue for a target. That's for another lesson. Yeah, so let it go. A little bit of manipulation in here. Back out the level, just resume where it reacted from, basically previous level of support resistance. Beautiful move on gold, and yeah, go below that low, and then you'll see what's going to happen next in here. So that was something also that we looked for this week, and now just let it move. How do I fund a strong zone? That's a good question. Yeah, just look. First of all, like any level that is important in terms of support resistance, a level that has managed to hold price a few times. That has a supply level in there, that has liquidity as well. So let me just look at an example. Like pound dollar in here, right? So this is a strong level. Right, so we have this high that can use as liquidity in there. We have a fresh level of supply, the level in there that price moved down and never really retested. So all of a sudden that starts becoming just automatically a good zone in there. Right, and then what makes a good zone is not only what you can see on the left side, but also the type of approach that we have that can become even more interesting to actually look for the sell or not. But basically just look for a level of support resistance. Yeah, like for example, if you just look at this one, these actually are one of my favorite levels ever. Not the euro, the pound, right? Just compare with this one that we have a high, and you have kind of a recent high as well that never really gets closer to that supply level. So this is exactly scenario. It's exactly the same one that we have on the pound Aussie. Now pound CAD. It's exactly the same that we have on pound CAD. No, pound Aussie, sorry. Pound CAD is the same. So you had that one. It goes, but that's not one. Sorry, in pound Aussie, right? That we have the level in there. We have a high in here that never really gets closer to that level. And then just waiting for price to fake out that level on the trace. That becomes one of the best trades that you can look for in here. So we have the high structure in there. And there's many things inside there. But then you are looking for price to fake out this high. And this high is visible on the daily time frame, is visible on the weekly time frame. That high is visible on the higher time frame. Like you can see it. There's no way that you cannot see it. Pound CAD as well. So if you look at pound CAD, not pound CAD, sorry, Euro CAD, it's the same high in there. There's that spike. There is that spike in there that price never really reacted from. Or you can use basically this one, but there is actually that one. Boom, goes there, and it starts moving. It starts moving to the downside. In there, but that's not exactly just a. Yeah, that's specific. But if you do find those ones, those become one of the best levels that you can look for a trade. Like dollar franc Swiss, was it something similar? Yeah, this is beautiful. Which one was it? Yeah, dollar franc Swiss was the same thing. All the way back in here at the highs. What do I have? That is missing. Yeah, that is missing. Damn it, cannot look at it. But yeah, that's basically a way to look for a strong zone. Like a strong zone as well. Support resistance in there, have the supply level, price will test level. Right? That's basically, this becomes a strong zone in there. Yeah. Yep. But then it doesn't mean that you are going to just trade blindly with that zone. You can look at the approach. And the approach plays a big role on how to actually then, on the confidence that you can have towards the level. I don't know if I managed to answer the question or not. Oil is still reacting from there. Brent, just pick out the low and move higher. Yeah, not exactly. I still don't want anything in here. Especially because oil, I don't really like where price pause in here. Still looking for eventual price go down. Yeah, just let it do whatever it wants to do in here. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. So tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we have PCE. I think the dollar starting to look a little bit up for the dollar pairs can maybe be interesting. If the pound dollar just continues to, crash in here throughout the night until the market closing and maybe tomorrow, I don't know if it gets somewhere closer to this level, somewhere in here, maybe we can have finally a turn. Basically, pound has been moving down for a week now, so more than a week basically. So maybe we can have a little bit of a turn. Yeah, it's going to depend on price. Again, let it continue to go down, and then you may have a turn in here, and then you can target maybe those highs in there. Euro dollar, I'm not the biggest fan of these lows. I actually would like to see these lows being taken in here, so that can happen, and then maybe can go higher. Again, we just broke this high in here, which in this particular case can be just used like this and push lower. And yeah, you can maybe find some kind of structure within this range in here, so pick out that level. But then I don't like anything in here. That's another problem. So Not really sure. I would prefer to look for sell somewhere in there. Yeah, this $0 is not making it easy for me. Is price still going to respect this demand zone? Not sure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The pound, I think it eventually could be an interesting one to look for a move to the upside. It tried a few times, didn't really manage to. So it wants to go down a little bit more. This level in here can be interesting. Somewhere in there. This level as well. It's quite obvious, to be honest. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, not really sure. Do you only trade gold or do you trade anything else? And silver was perfect. I actually looked at silver the other day. Silver was perfect for a sell. Silver was perfect. There you go, right? So trick out that level. Yeah, silver was perfect. It was perfect in here. The type of price movement that happened in there after that fake out. So price went down, start breaking those lows. That was nice. Start to show a little bit indication that wants to go lower. Then there you go, right? So basically it went a little bit towards to this extreme in there. Yeah, this move in here was really good. We start breaking those lows. Yeah, that was a really good PI. Then just momentum and create a little bit of liquidity again, challenging the lows, and now move lower and can go much lower because now we have, you know, get into this dynamic. We already have the break in there. Price already retested it. There's maybe a little bit of a zone in there. Price is reacting from this in there. Okay, but eventually can go slightly lower. They are looking for price now to get into the next range. It starts getting into somewhere in there. Yeah. First, maybe a little bit of a reaction here. Price is already reacting from that one. Can also react a little bit from here. So it can start slowing down. The price has been quite strongly. Of course, can have a clean retest towards its level as well. A bit of manipulation. Yeah. But this one was really good. That turnaround in here. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they are corrected a little bit, which is nice. After breaking, which zone do you consider? I don't really care about pips, so I don't really know the question. You mean as a breakout setup? You mean kind of as a breakout setup? That's what you mean? After price breaks out the low, how many pips you are waiting before jumping into the trade? Yeah, so I don't really trade. I don't really enter it as a breakout. My type of entries is more. So maybe look at this example on the top. It will be something more in here. Maybe have it like that. As soon as price starts breaking this level, I'll be looking to trade somewhere in there. Maybe some kind of trend line in there. Just 1 minute. Like my ideal scenario to be this one is actually kind of interesting. So I actually like to see, okay, we have the high, we have this level. I like to see price going somewhere in here, as if you create a new range in here. So price start breaking lows. I like to see the fake out of this level, and then I'll be looking for a trade. So in this case, price goes, as soon as it breaks something in there, I can, yeah, then I either trade kind of this retest, or price goes back a little bit, creates one last thing, and that's the moment I place my breakout setup in there. In this case, I don't wait any pips. I just want to, because I know that this is an important decision point. I want to get short straight away after that. That could be either through a sell limit somewhere in here now, or then the breakout of this level. Yeah, that will be the ideal. Yeah, that will be the ideal. Yeah, the false breakouts happen, right? That's why it's important to understand actually which low or high to actually trade, or how many times it should be broken before that, and so on and so forth. Yeah, like looking for a breakout setup as soon as this happens may not be the best idea. It happening here, breakout, retest, goes, but then have the right expectations of the target, because this value is still fresh in there, which means that there's a high probability that price still wants to retest there before actually resumes, okay, and assumes the move to downside. So instead of maybe trading the breakout of this low, maybe try to break the breakout of this one after the retest. Because now, yes, now it's confirmation. Like this was a trade that one of the guys took today on Ethereum, for example. He shorted in here, but then he closed it, and then instead of just trading straight away, I don't know, breakout of something in here, even though this case actually it was okay, he actually waited a little bit longer, because this was actually still reaction in there. He actually traded the breakout of this one, so actually got short in here again, and indicates how this moved down. Yeah. Again, there are a few things that we can, again, so of course, sometimes price will just do it and goodbye, right? No retracement or nothing, so have the right expectations and then manage the trade properly. If by any chance it's still not the moment of the breakout, proper breakout to happen. Yeah. But being aware of maybe the type of patterns that usually price tends to create. Yes, there is a high probability of looking for a breakout after at least is retesting there than without a retest. Somewhere in here. Because there are orders left behind in there, and price kind of going to have the tendency to go there before actually then makes the rest of the move. Yeah. That's it. Tomorrow I don't really have much of a bias, right? So I'm not interested on the indices so far. I'm going to be curious about the pound dollar, even though I don't really like where it's trading right now. Euro dollar I'm going to see as well if it holds the lows or not. And then we may have the retracement back on the dollar CAD and so on. If we get closer to the highs on the CAD pairs, I may be looking for sales again, but as you can see, it's not really looking like that. Pound CAD actually just moving down. So the trades occurred today. So that's it. Now it's just letting price do what it has to do. Yeah, it's basically it. Now it's just waiting. Really nice move. By any chance, just because of this one actually didn't react from that level. I don't really think pound CAD wants to do that, but we do have this alignment in there. We have these ones in there, and you have this high that never really reacted from it. So when I mention one of these important levels is now is the high that you want to see being faked out. So whenever price retraces back into here, I'll then be looking for any trades below that level. I want to see that high being taken, and then I'll be looking for a potential short. Is this actually level is still there? So by any chance, this pound cut can still have one last attempt in here. It's already spent a lot of time in here today, so I wouldn't really be counting too much on it, but there's maybe that expectation. That level's left behind in there. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Going to do my journaling, and I'll see you Sunday. Of course, tomorrow there's no need to do any market analysis because market is closed on Saturday. So I'll see you on Sunday for the weekly market analysis, and I'm going to try to release the video about how to trade all-time highs. It's recorded, so I just need editing now. Right. Bangani, thank you, man. And anyone else as well, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and to share it as well if you do have any friends that like trading, if you like the way I analyze the market and the way I teach. Go ahead and share it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Bye bye. I'll see you Sunday. Have a good end of the week and weekend as well. Bye bye.